Welcome to another edition of Real Bigfoot Encounters with Reverend Jeff. This week's story comes from the swamps of Fouke, Arkansas, home of the legend of Bucky Creek. Sometimes those things that go bump in the night really are monsters. This is one of those stories. Well, I'm probably going to regret telling this story. Everyone I know will probably laugh me right out of the county. I myself for years would horror and laugh every time someone would mention these creatures. But here it goes. Several years ago on a cold night in January 2000, I was coon hunting in Miller County, Arkansas. I don't know exactly how far from Mercer Bayou we were, but I know we were in the area the old-timers call Thornton Wells. While we were hunting in this flooded timber, our dogs split-treed. I went to my dogs who were working on the other side of the swamp. The other guys went to their dogs on the other side of the swamp. I got to the tree my dogs were working, and I looked at my coon and then caught my dogs. Everything seemed okay, so I decided to amble back towards the others. I could just barely hear the dogs baying across the bayou. Suddenly I heard something walking in the flooded timber. Bear in mind, this whole area is 8 to 15 inches of flooded and brackish swamp water. I could tell by the gait that it was someone coming in the flooded woods, so I called out to them, thinking it must be one of the hunting companions. To my dismay, no one answered. Instead, all I heard was a deep-throated gurgling growl and an almost putrid smell. The smell was like when you kill a wild hog and grab him by the hind leg, and then you give him a dragging out, and then you put your hand up to your nose and the smell knocks you over. I also heard kind of a whining, kind of whistling sound. My dogs were on my leash and they were whimpering now. They weren't just any dogs. These were UKC lippard-bred walkers. They probably weighed close to 100 pounds. They could rip a 20-pound coon apart if they were cowardly crouched behind my legs whimpering. I knew I'd seen them tear coyotes to shreds when they tried to come into a tree where they were working. I just couldn't understand it. Still in all, I wasn't concerned about any of this. I got my dogs and started back across the swamp. After a few minutes, I heard the sound of someone or something walking in the water again. So I stopped and turned around, and standing right behind me was a creature of immense size. He must have been at least 8 or 9 feet tall. He was covered from head to toe in real dark hair, and when my coonbuster coonlight hit him in the eyes, his eyes glowed like a deer in a spotlight. Talking about the hair on the back of your neck standing up, I was scared. I don't even remember being that scared. He made a hissing sound and reached down and took his hand and started scooping water and throwing it up at me, making a deep throaty noise. My dogs started chomping at the leash and growling, trying to get at it, having finally regained their bravery. I grabbed the leash and tore across the swamp, so scared that for a while I even went in the wrong direction. I got to a big cypress knee and caught my breath. I could hear the thing behind me. It sounded it was like about 100 yards or so back. It followed me for a ways, and then after a while I could hear it across the bayou making a moaning sound and moving away slowly. I got my breath and my compass bearings and started back to the truck. When I got there, I didn't say a word to my friends about what I saw or heard, for fear they'd just laugh me down. Needless to say, I've never returned to the Thornton Wells, nor do I plan to. For a long time I kept this to myself. I even had nightmares about it. The only person I ever told was an old coon hunter from Doddridge. As for now, he's gone and buried. I do remember something he said, though. He said, if you're smart, you'll keep that to yourself. I know from experience people will laugh at you and call you a liar. I've hunted in the Sulphur River bottoms many nights, but I've never seen anything like that since. I'm not one for tall tales, but I thought I'd share this terrifying idea with you because it seems the time may have come. Anonymous. Sometimes it's better to just keep moving than to turn and see the monster that's stalking you. This time it ended safely for the hunter, but who knows next time? For me, it was just another real Bigfoot encounter. Thanks for watching. I'm Reverend Jeff. Until next time, may the Squatch be with you.